10 live wires will be given the unique opportunity to share their creativity with the world and become the next top live wire. I'm your host, Heather Boyd Wire, and this is Live Wires for the Win, Season 3. 5 weeks of wire art challenges will count down to one winner of the grand prize, a collaboration video on my YouTube channel, a $100 gift certificate for my Etsy shop, and $200 worth of wire and tools from Beadalon. This is an elimination challenge with a twist. Viewers will have the opportunity to vote for their favorite creations and give feedback on the work. Your judges will be wire artist Heather Boyd, multimedia artist and author Patricia Srigley, and a weekly mystery judge. So hello, Live Wires. Welcome to the finale of Live Wires for the Win. I cannot believe we are already at the finale. And today we have a super special guest judge. We have Meredith Roddy from Beadalon. So hello, Meredith, welcome.
Thank you so much. This is such an honor to be able to be a guest judge for you. This is a wonderful, wonderful journey in our new wire friendship.
Oh, I'm so happy. And before we get into your bio, we are just going to say hello to Patricia. Welcome back for a regular guest judge. Always great to see you. So now back to Meredith. Can you please tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do with Beadalon?
Absolutely. So I've been beading for about 25 years, but really for my whole life. And I've worked at Beadalon for 17 years now, which is crazy. And I wear a lot of different hats. I do everything from product development to product testing to designing to education to judging wire contests like today, and it's wonderful. We're a lean staff, and we all pitch in whenever there's a project to be done. So it's a great way to really get a sense of the industry. And also, my favorite part is I get to learn so much. I came in as a French beaded flower maker, and now I'm doing all kinds of crazy seed bead work that I never thought possible.
Wow, that's amazing. And of course, you guys have a really great social media presence. I love all the interactive live streams that you do. We've done a couple of them together on your Facebook page, which has been super fun. And something that you guys did that was a competition style was that one that you sent people a surprise box of materials, and then they had to create work based on the materials at hand. Can you just tell us a little bit about that?
That is one of my favorite things that we've ever done at Beadalon. We sent, I think it was 20 or 30 different artists, all different kinds of media, a mystery box of products from all different companies. So it was Beadalon products. There were many different partners. And I think we did it 3 different times. Heather was one of our contestants, and you had, I believe it was an hour. Some years it was a little bit more, some years it might have been a little bit less. And you created whatever piece of jewelry, of sculpture, of art that inspired you with these projects. And a couple times we've done it live, a couple times we've done it virtually.
I will link up the replay of that so people can see what we're talking about. And I remember having so much fun and being on the other end of things, you know, not being on this end, but being on the other end where you're creating the piece. So I definitely want to do a lot more of things like that on my channel as well. I love that interaction with viewers and fellow artists. It's a wonderful thing. And I'm so happy you're here to be involved with our project here. So that's fantastic. Now we're going to look at the finalists for Live Wires for the Win. And we are going to start with Amanda. And Amanda writes, "As deep as the ocean, loved, loved, loved bringing life and movement to wire this week. My inspiration came from the documentary I've been watching on Netflix called Life on Our Planet. The history of evolution stirs a profound sense of awe inside me. Whilst watching, I can't count the number of times I said or thought, how the bleep did the life on Earth as we know it stem from that? I'm referencing how life started in the depths of the ocean floor, from the beginning of a single-cell organism, which over time developed into the first free-flowing organism, the mighty jellyfish. It's truly mind-blowing. I took creative liberties this week, and although everything is completely made of wire, I added a bit of paint to highlight the fish. I made each piece separately so I can give them the same fate as everything else I've made during this competition, as Christmas tree decorations. So I'll start with Amanda. Amanda's work was gorgeous, gorgeous colors, very typical of her style, very solid pieces, very well constructed. I love that each piece stands on its own. It's a real challenge to make a three-dimensional piece out of wire and to have them freestanding like that. I loved her solutions for the base of the pieces, the twisted wire representing the water. I love the way she twisted the wire. It looked like waves in the ocean. And she has a really lovely variety of styles. So she's got twisting, she's got some weaving in there, she's got the little coils, and you really, really feel the movement of the piece, especially the jellyfish just swooshing through the water. It's really cool that she painted the wire as well. It's another solution if you don't actually have the colored wire, which she did use a lot of colored wire as well, but to highlight a little bit with a bit of paint. I've definitely used nail polish and acrylic, not acrylic, but more enamel type paints to paint on the wire. I've even done with our own work. We make wedding cake toppers. And if somebody wants one like a gold, you could actually spray paint wire quite nicely as well. It sticks quite well, as long as the piece isn't taking too much wear and tear. But it's a fine line because you don't want it to get gloopy. But if you do little light coats of spray paint, it works quite well as well. But I thought her piece was really, really lovely and very consistent with her style throughout the show. And Patricia, what do you think of Amanda's work?
Yeah, I had noticed much of what you did. I really liked the innovative use of color by painting the wire. I hadn't seen that before. And that's so appropriate for tropical fish, which, are usually all about color. And I really liked Nemo because that's one of my favorite movies, and he's
Nice.
in there. I did like the variety of seaweed and how they stand. So it's almost like this is a little scene swimming along at the bottom of the sea. And yeah, really creative and really good job. Well done.
And Meredith, what did you think of Amanda's work?
The thing that struck me so much about these pieces, and Heather, you really hit on it, is the movement and how she was able to take straight wire and make it look like a scene on the bottom of the ocean, with the way that she varied the squiggles and varied the way that the things were moving back and forth, and the spirals, just so many different techniques, not just one technique. So it really gives it a lot of variation, but it's all about the movement. I could see this actually as an installation in an aquarium after she's done having everything displayed on the holiday tree. But really as part of a greater piece of artwork. And again, like you guys were saying, the use of color, the use of innovation with coloring the wire, it's beautiful. All of the different techniques work together.
You're right. The movement is amazing, and it really is like a drawing or a painting in wire. I do a lot of underwater scenes with seaweed, and so I could almost feel a paintbrush creating these fluid lines. Really beautiful. Wonderful job, Amanda. So next we have Ashita, and Ashita writes, for this week's theme, I made this heart wall hanging showing the things and people I love the most. By this, I try to describe how my love for them is as deep as the ocean, or maybe deeper than the ocean. I tried to mix all the themes and my work for them throughout this challenge every week. If you look carefully, you might be able to see the little glimpses or signs of my work throughout the competition. It makes me feel like the ocean. So much left to discover, but still feels like home. Ashita shared a poem with regards to her work. I will always love you like the ocean loves the shoreline, in gentle wakes, in violent waves, in rising tides from sinking moons. I will always love you, and though I may recede, I will always come back to you. writer unknown. Ashita used 18 gauge wire for the heart frame, 20 gauge wire for the word and the middle piece, 26 gauge and 28 gauge for wire wrapping. I made a wire spool and a cutter to represent pliers, and a folded paper and scissors. Both represent art and craft, or to show how much I love crafting. So Meredith, would you like to start with Ashita's work?
I love how this beautiful heart tells a story. And there are so many elements of Ashita's world and of her life and of her heart that are represented here. I really had to zoom in to see all of the beauty of this piece and all of the skill involved as well, to be able to create that shape of a heart and then incorporate all of these different elements representing herself, representing her life. It's really very, very special.
And Patricia, what do you think of Ashita's work?
I really liked her color choice of wires. I knew it was a heart by the shape and by the valves at the top, even before I read the description. I do like that she used a sort of subtle red pink for the heart, not a really glaring red, which you might think of for a heart. The color works really subtly, and it works so well with the warm gold and the nice little touch of silver. As always, her craftsmanship was excellent, and there's so many fine details. When you get close, you can see her script for the word family was beautifully done. It's hard to write with wire, and she's done a beautiful job. And keeping your family in your heart, which is the message. It's a lovely message. A beautiful piece.
I agree with the shape and the choice of the heart for the frame, because a lot of people do pieces within the classic heart shape, but this is really lovely to actually have chosen an anatomical heart in a simple way, you know, not too much detail, just the outline of the heart and then having her elements inside. Ashita's pieces are always very sentimental, very family oriented, very personal. And I love that she's been very consistent throughout the competition with this style of wire work, her approach to wire work, very sensitive. And the little details too, she's done twisting and weaving and all kinds of bending, really interesting details. Like you said, if you zoom up, you can see the details a little better. If you go right in the middle, you can see there's a figure. So she's sort of like a dancing figure, and she's got all the yarn and the wires coming out from her. And then she's got some little pliers there and things, and really lovely, lovely little details. I'm not quite sure the size, but it could be almost any size. It could be little, like a little pendant. Well, not little because of the family, but I would say it's maybe about, I don't know, 6 inches. But it's there's a mystery there about the size and how it could be used and how it could be displayed. But I definitely love that heart shape. I think it's really cool and unique, very interesting approach. And the poem was sweet. It's nice. I always love when there's a little bit of extra to their blurbs that helps show the inspiration of the work, and then always learning something a little bit new as well. Beautiful job, Ashita. Lovely. So next we have Nicole, and Nicole writes, for this week's theme, I wanted to bring awareness to a cause that's dear to my heart, Save the Sharks. I have loved sharks since I was a girl. I always found them to be beautiful and graceful. They are vital to the ocean ecosystems, keeping them healthy. They also help reduce carbon emissions, yet an estimated 25% are in danger of becoming extinct due to overfishing, finning, climate change, and habitat loss. My creation started as a statement necklace and evolved into a scene of a hammerhead shark in a coral reef. Several species of hammerheads are on the critically endangered list. If we don't do more to stop the destructive practices, we will find ourselves in a world without sharks or healthy oceans. So Patricia, would you like to start with Nicole's work?
I loved this work. I absolutely loved the hammerhead shark. When I first saw the picture of the finished work, the shark, I thought it was a lot bigger. And then when I read the description and saw more pictures, I realized it was small. It's just the detail and the finesse of how she's used the wire made me think it was a bigger piece. But it's just beautiful. And she found that nice stone for the fin, which is perfect, and the little eyes. Then, of course, the seaweed is beautifully done, adding some nice variety and coral. So it is a subject that's very dear to my heart. It's sad what's happening to the oceans and the creatures that live in them. I really felt what she was expressing. Beautiful work.
And Meredith, what did you think of Nicole's work?
So there are three things that really stand out to me in this piece. The first, as Patricia mentioned, is that stone that's wire wrapped to represent the fin. I thought that was such a wonderful way of incorporating another material into the wire work. Anytime you can add beads or stones or other shiny objects into wire work, that fills my heart with happiness. And I love how she did it as well, bringing the wire up and over and incorporating it into the body of the shark. The second thing that I love about this piece is how she created the head of the hammerhead shark. I'm always amazed at how much foresight and forethought goes into wire work. And you really have to see a whole piece before you start constructing it. And to be able to create that shape that looks exactly like the head of a hammerhead shark is so impressive to me. The third thing that I love that she did in this piece is hammering that thicker copper wire to make the coral branches. And again, it's just those little things that bring in that movement, to bring in that extra little something that really makes a piece stand out. And those three things, in addition to the wonderful pink of the coral, anytime a rose gold gets added into a piece, immediately I like it even more. And how the shark is coming out of the coral that she's so wonderfully wire wrapped over there. It's just everything works together to make a really beautiful statement piece.
I agree with the Meredith about the hammering of that copper. That was the first thing almost that struck me, was the copper coral there. And ironically, this morning, I was on Instagram, and on the Beadalon site, they had made some little headpin earrings with hammered ends on them. You know, you gotta love. Did you make those? Yeah. They're beautiful. I shared it in my story actually, but I love that technique. And I thought for the headpins, it was brilliant because it stops the beads from coming down. But you got to love the universe for that, when these coincidences pop up all the time. And I just thought that was a brilliant solution because it gives a variety in the width of the wire, the texture of the wire, and it makes a nice finish, because if you were just to like cut the wires like that, it would look unfinished. But because she's hammered it, it looks like a very finished piece. Like I could see a piece just with that as a focus, with maybe a few little details or something on it. But then she's created this whole scene. The cabochon is brilliant, how she integrated that into her piece. She's just got a few little wires wound around it. It's not like super woven around the outside, but then she's woven it around the bottom and created texture on the hammerhead shark. And like you said, that's not an easy shape to do. If I had created like a hammerhead shark, I'm pretty sure it wouldn't look as convincing as that, I think, because it's not an easy, even to draw a hammerhead shark, it's not easy to get it to look right, you know, when something is such an unusual shape like that. And she's done lots of really interesting techniques with the weaving, and she's done some coiling. Some parts are simple, some parts are more complex. So in that sense, she's done a lot of really interesting things with this piece. And with Nicole's work, what really strikes me is she always has a very thoughtful idea behind each piece. She has pieces that are more sentimental, some that are more environmentally conscious. Nicole is a poet, and it really shows in her work her sensitivity. And so I thought she did a really lovely job, and choosing a cause that was dear to her heart. I think that really inspires us when we create art and when we make pieces. So I thought it was a really beautiful piece all around, and interesting choice, like I said, with the cabochon and how she sounded like she started with that piece and worked around it, and then it just grew organically. So lovely job, Nicole. And now some words from our viewers. For Amanda. Wow, this is amazing. Amanda has done a great job in this competition. Her ability to weave and bend wire is truly on top. Great creativity and skills. This was so well thought out and brilliantly executed. Cool, you found Nemo. Love the clownfish. Beautiful, well planned and designed. Love the colors and the movement of the pieces. Gorgeous detail, beautiful work. Wonderful, love your use of colored wire and the variety of subject. They also work well together. Wow, I feel like I'm snorkeling. Love this colorful, beautiful world, and it's very inspiring, Amanda. Wow, Amanda, your pieces look amazing. Your clownfish and its home look real. Your jellyfish looks like it's riding the current, and your other two fish are swimming in the seaweed. I remember all the fish I tried to catch were always in the weeds. Amanda, I was immediately drawn to your underwater fantasy by your wirework's vibrant colors and subtle sense of motion. The movement of the jellyfish is especially elegant and realistic and totally rocks my world. And for Ishita, great job. What a beautiful concept. Nice job. This makes me feel the movement of the lifeblood pulsing through the heart. Great thought and sentiment behind this piece. Beautiful. Love the details and creativity. Unique interpretation of the theme. Ishita, when I saw your first work, I was shocked. I thought to myself, wow, so young and so talented. Congrats. Wonderful creation, Ishita. It looks so awesome. Love the figure and how the piece flows. Wow, I like how you created the heart and how you added family in writing. Putting a person form in the middle makes me think of you. You're at the center of the heart. Great job. I love the symbolism of your heartfelt piece and the use of so many techniques. Your weaving is awesome. Your story touches my heart. And for Nicole, very nice work and great weaving. Very great job. Very cool. That fin is amazing. This made me so happy. I love sharks. I love the plan and design of the hammerhead shark and the colors. Wow, the detail in the fin. OMG, I love sharks and immediately knew this was a hammerhead. Gorgeous, just absolutely gorgeous, and all with just wire. Thank you for bringing awareness to this danger, and what more beautiful way to do it than through this work of art. Gorgeous, I love the personal connection, incredibly skillfully done. Nicole, I love hammerhead sharks. All your works are gorgeous. Congrats. Fantastic work, Nicole. Love the fin and the weaving. The coral is a really nice touch. Wow, Nicole, looks exactly like a hammerhead shark. Your weaving is incredible. I love how you put your passion for sharks into your art. This hammy is a beaut and a complicated piece of work. Fantastic fin too. Also, very clever use of the blue copper wire for the coral and contrasting stiff and barren silver structure by the shark's tail to introduce the topic of coral reef destruction. Beautiful, creative, unique piece. And the viewer's choice this week was Amanda. Congratulations, Amanda. Yay! So now comes the fun part with extra pressure because this is the finale. We are going to choose our favorite and we're going to put them in order of our favorite first. And I will start with you, Patricia.
My favorite was Nicole's hammerhead shark. My second favorite was Amanda's tropical fish, and my third was Ishita's heart.
Perfect. And Meredith, can you please tell us your favorites?
I agree with Patricia's rankings. Nicole's hammerhead shark, it just hit the mark for me with so much creativity. It made my heart smile. It was so hard to choose though, because they were all so beautiful. Amanda's fish were also gorgeous with the colors and the vibrancy. And then Ashita with the story, with the heart, and just all of the emotion that swirled around with that also were beautiful.
It was really tough this week. I find that Amanda's pieces are so beautifully made, technically perfect, and she has a very distinctive style, very colorful, very whimsical. And then Nicole's work, I find her work just so beautiful and poetic, also very well made, nice use of materials. So to me, that was very tough. I almost couldn't choose between the two of them. The order that I had put them in was Amanda first, and then Nicole second, and then Ashita. Nicole is going to be our winner this week. So congratulations, Nicole. So Nicole becomes the top live wire for 2023. Congratulations, Nicole. Yay! Congratulations, Amanda and Ishita, for making it to the finals, and thank you for sharing your gorgeous creations. And congratulations to all the participants for all their amazing work along the way. The judges are so impressed every week with all the amazing, original, unique, creative pieces of art. It's amazing what we see that people can do with wire, how they interpret it, how they become really unique pieces of art. Each week we see how people interpret the wire, and it becomes a reflection of their personality, their style, their experience. I can hardly wait till next year. You guys can stay tuned. We'll be putting out the call for entry in the spring. We'll definitely be doing a Live Wires for the Win season 4, so look out for that. So thank you, Patricia, for being our weekly judge on Live Wires for the Win.
It was so much fun. I loved doing it. Thank you.
And I will link up all of Patricia's beautiful wire creations, books, her ornaments, pottery, all kinds of things. I will link up her website in the description below the video. And thank you to Meredith for being our guest judge on the finale.
It was my pleasure. Thank you so much for having me, Heather. It was an honor.
Oh, I'm so happy. And I will link up Meredith's Instagram and, of course, the Beadalon website and their Facebook and their Instagram and all that good stuff that's going to be linked up in the description. And thank you to all the viewers who were tuning in each week, voting, leaving feedback for the artists. We really appreciate your support for fellow wire artists. And we will see you guys same time next year. Bye.